What's up, guys? It's Josh from the Duelist Club. I'm going to give you guys a Gouki deck profile today. It's a little project I've been working on. The core is really cheap. I think it cost me, like $3 to order the entire Gouki core. And I think they do have some potential. They're all floaters. I'll go ahead and say this isn't the standard. Well, there's not really a standard Gouki build yet, but most of the ones that I've seen have been playing Predaplants and, abusing Brilliant Fusion. The best ending board I've seen it's like a 3-4 card combo that makes double Firewall and leaves 2 Goukis left over. I don't think that's that good. I mean, it's okay, you can bounce 2 cards back to hand, but I think this version is a lot better. This is actually Zodiac, True King, Goukis, so it's my take on it, and yeah, let's get into it. I'll explain it. I just think it's a little better at this point. So we got our Gouki engine, 3 Twist Cobra, 3 Suprex, double Rescorpio. This one's the worst, that's why you only run 2 of it. So all of these share an effect, right, that when they hit the graveyard, you can search or add another Gouki card to hand. Card, not just monsters. So like this hits grave, you can add this, you can add this, you can add the spell, whatever you want. And I love floaters. Floaters are some of my favorite things in Yu-Gi-Oh! That's why I picked this deck up. But yeah, so this one tributes a Gouki as a quick effect and adds that attack onto another Gouki. This one specials one from hand when it's normal summoned, and this one's just like a Cyber Dragon that uses a normal summon. So this one hardly ever comes up. I actually hate this. I wouldn't run any of it if it was a perfect world, But these are the only 3 Goukis that exist right now. As far as main deck wise anyway, so you need to play it for names, but you don't run 3 because you don't want to break yourself with it. But yeah, I'll go through, explain how the deck works a little bit. I got the idea for it because I was messing around with Goukis and they were Earths, and I really like the True Kings, just the way they play and their art and their style and everything. So I figured these would fit in nicely because you can pop these with Lithosagem, and you can, banish from the extra deck, and, you get their search effects as well. Because that's the biggest problem I had when I played True Kings is that when you're popping stuff, you're losing hand advantage really fast, but this helps replenish that. So yeah, that's the Gouki engine. We got Maxi. It's an Earth, which is nice. You can add it back off Mrs. Radiant. You can pop it with Sagem. So it's actually a little better in this deck than it is in some other ones. Then we got the Zoo engine, double Ram, double Rat, Whiptail, and Blade. 1 card Mrs. Radiant. This is just to cycle through Zoo cards. This is just your out to stuff. I actually don't love this card in this deck because most of the time when I make Broad Bowl, I'm searching Ram, because this one, it's another thing that gives you pluses off of popping it, whether that's popping it from Lithosagem, Barrage, Diagram, whatever. So yeah. This is the card that really ties everything together, A Boon. I love this card. So you can pop it off Diagram, you can pop it off Barrage, Lithosagem, whatever. And so you guys should know what this does at this point. You pop 1, it gets 2 more out, and you draw. It gives you 2 potential draws, to fix your bricky hands, because this deck is 3 different engines mashed together, so it can get a little bit clunky. But the good thing is that you only need 1 Zoo card to get that engine off, and the rest of your cards can be Goukis and True Kings, and then, you're golden. So this card is, just to help fix the hands. And so when you summon the 2, you can also make Invoker, and this is where the biggest synergy comes in. You can go into your Zoo plays off of Invoker, but you can also summon these guys off of Invoker. And so if you summon, Suprex off of Invoker, I do that a lot. Then you go into Mrs. Radiant. This floats into another Gouki or into, the spell to bring back Goukis. So yeah, that's usually how your best combo starts out. So yeah, 3 A Boon, really good, love the card. And then onto the True Kings, we got 2 Barastos, the water one, and 3 Lithosagem, the earth. So my inspiration for this deck came from Patrick Hoban's, I think it was top 8 or top 16 at ARG, man, I don't remember which one it was. It was the last one before Nationals this year, before Links came out. But he was playing True King Zoo, and he was running 3 of this and 2 of this, because this is better to destroy on its own, because it specials a worm from deck. This doesn't really do anything first turn if you're popping it with Diagram, well, whereas this does. But I bumped this up to 3 because you have so many more targets that give you advantage, or that you want to destroy. Baboons, Rams, searchable, and Goukis that are also searchable. Excuse me. So this card is a pseudo starter card in this deck, as well as being a combo piece with this to make Calamities. I really like that card. It's really oppressive to most things, except, you know, Pure True Draco doesn't have too much of a problem dealing with it. But, you know, depending on the hits from the ban list, that might not be a deck, or might not be as good of a deck as it is now. So we'll see how that goes. But I love these cards. The biggest problem with it, though, like I said, is that it takes 2 monsters to destroy, right? So in a normal deck, you know, you're losing advantage for that, and it's kind of hard. When I ran Pure True Kings for a while, well, you know, I just tested it, and, you know, it's just really hard to match up the attributes, but everything pretty much in this deck is Earth except for this and the Baboon. So, yeah, it's a pseudo starter. Just really, really good. And that's all for the monsters. I think it's 23. Then on to the spells. We got the Upstart Goblin, Consistency, Reinforcement of the Army, searches your Goukis. Soul Charge. This card's just good. You can bring back like a Calamities and a Zoo card, slap a Tiger on top of it, refuel the Calamities. You can bring this back to make Link plays. Just a lot of stuff you can do. And this is the card that made me really want to go and get the Gouki engine, is Gouki Rematch. This card is going to be abused one day. It specials 2 Goukis from grave. That's insane. They summon in defense position, of course, but I mean, this card with the setup can be a 1-card Mrs. Radiant. And Goukis are meant to be a Link deck, obviously. They're used in the show. I don't watch the show, the anime, but I'm assuming since they're used by a character that I think is somewhat of a main character, I'm assuming they're going to get more support. And all they need is one good monster or another good spell or something to put them over the top. And another thing that will help is better Link monsters. So the way my combo string works out, my best combo string, you'll have Mrs. Radiant, Emeril, Calamities, Trident, and then you'll Gouki Rematch to bring back 2 Goukis. But the problem is there's not a lot of things to go into. There's hardly anything really to go into with those 2 Goukis after you bring them back. Like, this deck is not centered around Links like Firewall Dragon, which, because this extra deck space is insanely tight. But that Firewall Dragon's the best thing you can go into right now, and I'm not like a huge fan of that card, the way this deck is built right now. So, you know, maybe one day we'll get a Link monster, like a Link version of Trident, where it takes 2 monsters, and then, you know, on your opponent's turn you can pop a card or something. Then this card becomes like insanely broken, because, you know, it's just another ending piece. But not 3, because it's insanely searchable, and opening it first turn without Goukis sucks. It's dead. And like I said, this deck is a little bit clunky. It's consistent enough, but it can be a little bit clunky if you don't drop out Baboons and you're drawing, you know, engines mashed together, that engine cards that don't work. So, like, I didn't want to break myself with these, but 3 comes up to where you want to resolve 3 in a game, but I just didn't think it was worth the break at this time. Yeah. 3 terraforming, 3 diagram. I was borrowing 2, I only own 1 right now. But so I found that the best starter card in the deck, it's not a Gouki, it's not a Rat, it's not a Barrage, it's this. Easily the best starter in the entire deck. I really hope this card doesn't get hit to 1. I don't think it deserves it, because it's only as broken as what it searches, and what people don't like is that it searches Masterpiece and it searches Heritage, which are both insanely good cards. But if Masterpiece gets taken care of, honestly, I think this card can stay. I really want it to, and I'm biased, of course, because I just think this card is a great engine starter. I love playing the True Kings. Playing 3 diagrams makes it possible, and there's a lot of hands where you can draw 4 cards that don't necessarily work together very well, but then if you draw a diagram, it just, you know, it sets off everything, and all of a sudden, you know, you have a lot of plays you can do, and the card's just, you know, you guys know, this card's just insane. So playing it while we have it. 3 Barrage, this is also a really good card. You can pop Gokis and gain their effects. You can pop, whatever. Baboons, and then it just gets your zoo stuff started. And this is another thing with the other Gouki deck with the Predaplants and whatnot. I've noticed that it's like you normal summon the Predaplant, use its effect. If it gets ashed, you just lose, because then you don't have your Brilliant Fusion, you don't have your Invoker, you already use your normal summon. So and I didn't like that. So with this deck, a lot of times you'll definitely have more than one play string to go down. Like you can normal a Gouki and try to get that effect off. Like, okay, that gets ogred or something. Okay, then you search another Gouki, you diagram, pop a Gouki, use a rematch, bring them back, make Mrs. Radiant. Even if they ash the diagram or something, then you got the Barrage, you got the zoo stuff. Like, that's one thing I really liked about this deck. It's a whole lot better going second than that other Gouki deck, because the other Gouki deck is more combo off first turn, and then just see what happens. But this has a more powerful first turn, and it has a easier second turn, I feel like. And then the Solemn Boys for traps. Yeah, I just needed more cards. Like I said, I don't know if I said it already, but this is an extremely preliminary build of this deck. So if you guys have any, suggestions, opinions, whatever, talk about it in the comments. I'm down to playtest anything. But yeah, these were good. I just wanted another layer of disruption, or if I drew like a bad hand, then I could at least, maybe end Trident Strike, or, Warning or something like that. But yeah. And then we'll go extra. So we have the Zoo Engine, Hammer, Double Bull, Double Chakanine, Tiger, Double Trident. We're running like a larger Zoo Engine than I was running in my Pendulum Magician, so that's why there's more of these. There's 8. Yeah, it takes up, the extra deck space is insanely tight because of these, but after Zoo gets hit, I kind of can't wait till Zoo gets hit, because then I can stop running this stuff and open up 8 slots in the extra deck. Then I might make it more link-oriented, but right now I think this is definitely better. So that's why we're playing that. Not much to say there. We have the Augusto Emeril, a great card. This is a whole lot easier to make than in other Zoo builds. Like, I end with this card first turn almost every time. So it's just really good to draw into more stuff. And that's another reason I was running the Solemns, even though it's a combo deck, because I wanted something to draw into, after my combos were finished. Calamities, this card's really oppressive. I love making it. It's really fun to make. It can be really explosive if it lives through the second turn and it comes back to you. You can search another True King with Diagram or something, change their monsters' attributes to whatever you want, whatever that True King is, and then summon the True King using their monsters. That's an insane play, wins you the game. This card's just really good. Decode Talker. Oh, okay, sorry. I swear I had an Invoker, but I can't find it, so Invoker, of course, not much to say there. But Decode Talker, I ran this. I hate this card, but I ran this because there was a scenario that came up in testing where I had a card stuck here on this. I already had an Emeril on this extra deck zone, and I had a card stuck here. So I needed a way to open up another zone to make Calamities. So I just took this and this, and I was like, okay, I can just make Decode Talker, open up the zone. So that's why we play that. And then we play 2 Mrs. Radiant, best Link monster besides Firewall in the game. I feel like this is what you go into the most, but like I said, space is tight, so you don't go into 3. And this adds back Earth monsters to your hand when it's destroyed, which is really nice, because then you can use them for Lithosagem fuel, or, whatever. And then we play one of the Gokis, the Great Ogre. This card's not good, but it comes up sometimes. It can OTK. All monsters lose attack equal to their defense, and the Gokis all have 0 defense, so it can come in handy sometimes. Its zones are really, really nice. 3 down, but there's usually not too much you can do after that to where you actually need the 3 spaces, but yeah. And so that's the deck profile. The basic combo string, the best one, I can overview it real quick, just talk about it. It's Diagram, popping a Baboon, getting out 2 Baboons, fix up your hand however you want it, make Invoker summon Suprex, then Link for Mrs. Radiant, and then the Suprex will search you another Gouki card or a Gouki Rematch. You haven't normal summoned yet, so I don't know, normal summon a rat or something, do your Zoo stuff. You can search a Ram, pop it with Lithosagem, Oh, sorry, yeah. Search the Lithosagem off the diagram, or the Barastos, whatever piece you don't have. Then when you make Broad Bull, you search the Ram. You do the Chalkanine Dryden combo, so you go Dryden Chalkanine back to Dryden, Tiger back material under that. But then you can go Lithosagem, pop the Gouki, and pop Ram, and so that summons, you'll banish 3. That Gouki won't search anything because it'll be from your hand. Then, okay, and then you can make Emeril. If you get another Earth out there, you can make Mrs. Radiant, because usually you can do, yeah, okay, yeah, something like that. But I'll probably make a combo video on it eventually, because it's a little, you know, like I said, your combo strings can go in a lot of different ways. Whether you want to make Dryden Emeril, whether you want to make Calamities, you know, Decode Talker, or all 3 or all 4, whatever. But yeah, I think the deck has potential for sure, and I'll be working on it for a while. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, see ya.